Oh, here we go. I finally get to sit down after 2.5 days of sanding, painting, ripping up floors. Oh, I don't know. I give up. But anyway, it's another beautiful day. And most importantly, it's my favourite day of the week. It's Thursday. Well, welcome back once again to the Moore Army podcast for another episode. Hello, welcome to this Thursday's edition of the podcast. First of all, I want to apologise for no podcast on Tuesday. Now, we did put one out on Monday. We were supposed to drop one on Tuesday as well, which it didn't get recording. And then I said I was going to do it Wednesday, which it didn't get done. But I'm here now, so apologies. Honest to God, I thought I was getting more time to myself over the last couple of days, but I tell you what, this last few days I have hardly seen the sunshine as much as I would like, and it's just been chaotic. But most importantly, I got everything that I needed to get done while trying to get some work done in between that as well, and try and do a vlog or two as well. So it's fun times. But anyway, yes, hello, it's Thursday, hallelujah. Almost the weekend again, guys. Welcome back to the Moore Army podcast for another episode. How you all doing out there since the last time I spoke to you? It's been a up and down week for me. I've been trying to keep an eye on what's going on with the world as well as obviously trying to get everything done around my house that I've been trying to do over the last couple of days, as you've probably seen by the vlog that I put out yesterday, and obviously putting stuff on social media and whatnot. So, but anyway, yes, some things interesting to talk about today. The return of Jackass of the week today as well. It's a very interesting one for that this week as well. But yes, and I want to answer some of your questions on the podcast, as I always do. Had a really interesting one last Monday, guys, which really hit home for me. Very interesting email from a girl called Sarah, who sent me a very heartfelt email. Go back and listen to it on Monday. It's from Monday's podcast. It was good. I've actually reached out to the girl, so I have since that. So, and then Brooke left her a wee message in the vlog that I recorded yesterday, which I'm going to be putting up online today. But anyway, yes, guys, before I continue on with the podcast today, just the usual stuff here I want to get through before I continue on with the program. If you are a regular listener or a new listener, of the Moore Army podcast, you can get in touch with us by the following methods. First of all, you want to contact us by email. Any suggestions you have at all for the program, any questions or anything at all, you can contact the show by moorearmypodcast@yahoo.com. That's moorearmypodcast@yahoo.com. Also, the old trusty social media, it's a lot of you love to contact me on, which is first of all Facebook. The Moore Army YouTube channel Facebook page is on there. If you just search up Moore Army YouTube channel, you'll find the page there. Please drop a like on that page as well. If you want to contact me there via the messages for the program, you can certainly do that as well. Also, a lot of you do contact me on the old Instagram, which is probably the most popular platform I have. If you want to contact me on Instagram, you can certainly do that by official Matthew Moore on Instagram. And also, if you want to go to the website for all your merchandise for the Moore Army podcast YouTube channel, check out all the previous vlogs from all our channels over the last, I don't know how many years, it's been 9, nearly 8 years next year. And more, moorearmy.co.uk. That's moorearmy.co.uk. By the way, Monday's podcast was a very good one because I was checking the stats this morning there on Spotify, Apple Music, and TuneIn Radio. We had a lot of really, really good stats there from last Monday's podcast and last week's shows as well, which done very, very well. So thank you for all your streams and downloads and listens and whatnot. The YouTube channel itself isn't doing, obviously, it's doing okay. It's up and down, it fluctuates, but we're just starting out in YouTube, so more people prefer to have it streaming on their devices, the likes of the Spotify's and the Apple Musics and things like that. So for anybody who has listened to us on TuneIn Radio as well, or any of those apps or platforms, thank you very much for taking your time, for streaming it, downloading it, adding it to your favourites. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. But anyway, What have I been up to? Well, what have I got for you to talk about today? We got some news in relation to that disaster that happened in Nottinghamshire, where innocent people have been obviously attacked again. I got some stuff on our old mate, Mr. Bumbling Boris. I've got some stuff in the news as well, which is a bit of an interest for you too as well. And again, later on in the episode, it did say I was going to announce the Jackass of the week. So let's get into some of the stuff I want to talk about today in the programme. But first of all, I want to go into some of the stuff I've been up to this past few days. If you haven't saw the YouTube video that I put out on, was it yesterday? I recorded bits and bobs over 3 days because, guys, between doing work to the house, between trying to work and trying to balance everything out in the last couple of days has been pretty fucking chaotic. And I've been sort of like, I decided, right, I need to get the downstairs a bit of a fresh look because, number one, you know yourself, guys, when you get, if anybody out there who has kids in the house, you got to keep freshening your house up because kids come in with their dirty hands on the walls and their dirty feet and everything else. So every so often I would do a wee freshen up. So I decided that I was going to do downstairs here in the home, get the living room a fresh look. Obviously, the hallway leading into the front of the house, get that a new floor put in, get it all freshened up with a bit of paint and stuff. So spent the last couple of days just doing that there, and it was fun. Took a bit longer than expected. Obviously, we're trying to balance that out with other bits and bobs going on in your life. But I got a majority of it done. It's mostly finished now. And if you want to go and check out the vlog on the YouTube channel, you'll see a few bits of progress over the few days where you see me painting and sanding and ripping up floors. And oh God almighty, it was one point it was driving me mad. My OCD was going fucking crazy with all the stuff flying everywhere, and it was just like, ugh. But I got it sorted. So all I got to do now is get my new sofa sorted out for the living room and new pictures for the walls and stuff like that, and that's pretty much it done. And then the next task after that, guys, is I have to hit the kids' bedrooms, which is going to be fun. A 17-year-old and a 14-year-old bedroom, that's going to be so much fun. The gutting out of the rooms and taking all the crap and clearing it away, and it's going to be fun. So it is. So, but I'm looking forward to it, especially Lewis's room. Brooke's room isn't so bad because Brooke's room's a bit smaller, but we'll get that sorted out pretty quickly. But with Lewis, you know what it's like, teenage boys, it's going to be fun. Because at the end of the day, guys, they are getting a bit older now and obviously need to update their rooms to make them more modern, obviously, for their age. You know, because Lewis has some wallpaper on there that needs to be badly taken off, and he realises now, Daddy, I'm not a baby anymore and I need to change stuff. So I'm going to be getting that all sorted for him over the next couple of weeks. Probably shortly after our holiday, I'll be hitting them bedrooms and hitting them like wildfire, ripping them apart and ripping up their floors and putting new floors in and getting everything all repainted and freshened up, new furniture, all the usual stuff. So, but it's the joys of fucking DIY, isn't it? It never stops when you have a home. Never ever fucking stops. Ever stops. Any parents out there know it never stops when you get kids, especially. So, but no, the last couple of days have been fun. So it has, and I've actually found it very therapeutic because I had a bit of an incident that happened. Not even so much an incident; it was more of a shock. I was out shopping the other day, and you probably hear an ambulance driving past my house out front. Yeah, it's just gone by there. The week I've had, I'll probably have food. Obviously, you all know, guys, I have beers on Thursday nights. I probably need an ambulance after the few beers I'm going to have tonight. Number one, with the bloody heat, and number two, the stressful week that I've had. No, I was out the other day and I had to nip out for a little bit, and I was just sort of like walking over towards the shop area, and I went into one of the stores to get some bits and pieces that I needed, obviously, to bring back to the house to continue on with the work in the house. And I got a bit of a shock while I was out the other day. It wasn't like a shock where it was like a bad shock. It was just sort of caught me off guard. You know, when something happens to you and you just don't expect it to happen. I was out the other day there, and I was just literally walked into the store. I was heading towards the hardware department, and I turned the corner and almost walked into someone. Like literally walked into them, and it sort of caught me off. Caught me off guard. It was actually Sandra. Yeah, Sandra. The first time I saw her in 14 months. It's the first time I've actually seen her in person in 14 months, guys. And it was kind of like, whoa. And, okay, all respect to her, like, she turned around and she went, oh, hello, how are you? And I was just like, oh, all right, how are you? And I felt really, I was kind of like, I was just caught off guard. And off I went and done my business. So, yeah, guys, that was a bit of a shocker. I actually haven't seen her and spoke to her in 14 months. And that was the first time. Here's the thing. Everybody has seen her. Like mum, dad, mum and Tony has seen her a couple of times. Brooke's obviously seen her a few times because her daughter and Brooke are like very, 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 very good close friends. And they always have been, well before we met. And I have never seen her once until the other day. But again, a lot of people, even people who listen to this podcast, have always asked me, do I speak to her? Do I see her? You know, I don't. I actually haven't seen her. I haven't spoke to her. But I mean, I get messages all the time. You know, do you ever hear from her? Do you ever speak to her? You know, people keep asking me all these questions all the time, and I tend to try and ignore it, guys, because at the end of the day, I'm sure she probably doesn't want me talking about her on YouTube anymore, or I don't know why she does or not. I don't know, but you know, I've mentioned her once or twice, telling a few stories here in the podcast. But just the other day, I was just walking through the shop, and there she was, and it was kind of like, whoa, caught you off guard. So it was so, but yeah, she looks like she's doing okay. I don't know. I never had a conversation with her. I don't know how she's doing. But she spoke. She said hi, and that was pretty much it. No conversation, no nothing. So there you go. But that was a bit of a surprise. So it was. But yeah, apart from that, guys, I've just been pretty much busy. You know, I had a plan to record a podcast on Tuesday as normal. I did say at the end of Monday's show that I'd be on the air on Tuesday. You know, I didn't get a chance, and I apologise for that. But I'm here today, as you know, and everything's all good. So I'm here. But anyway, what has been going on in the world? Sorry, before I go on to that, actually, as I said at the start of this broadcast, I had an email there on Monday from a girl called Sarah. Go and listen to that podcast, guys, from Monday. I had some lovely questions, and that one particular girl called Sarah who emailed me. Please go and check it out, guys, because she seemed like a really nice person. I've reached out to her after Monday, and she's reached back out to me again. So, and then Brooke dropped her a wee message in the recent vlog that we're going to be posting today, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's just nice to hear from people who are going through all different things of life. So just have a wee listen to it, guys. I would appreciate it. But yeah, what's been going on in the world since the last time I spoke to you? Jesus Moses, the fucking world's going bonkers. Like, hell me, gee whiz. Nottinghamshire, this lunatic going around fucking stabbing two 19-year-olds. And then he had a van and he tried to run over 3 other people. Plus he tried to break into was it a care home or something like that? And then I had something else sent to me there on, was it Tuesday? A friend of mine sent me a thing on WhatsApp that there was a person going around in Coleraine, Northern Ireland, carrying a fucking machete with a balaclava on broad daylight, trying to attack people. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this world? And then I think I did say about the wee girl from Ballymena, the wee 21-year-old. And they've arrested, I think there's 2 men's been arrested. One's going to be charged with murder, and the other one's going to be obviously charged with contempt of assistive help and whatever it is, and I don't know what. And then I was talking to one of the men who was here fitting the floor yesterday, and he was telling me, you know, that apparently the wee girl from Ballymena, they found like the apparently cut her up and put her in bits and bins, and I'm going to myself, what the fuck is going on with this world? People run around broad daylight with machetes, killing people and stabbing them to death, especially young ones at 19. Like, gee whiz, man. The world is going fucking bonkers. And all these different stories I've been reading over the last couple of days, and you know, I don't want to come across as like maybe a racist or something here, like, but these ones are coming from different countries and they're walking around with machetes fucking killing people. And you can call me a racist all you want for saying, oh, but you're picking on people from other countries and stuff. No, I'm not, because they're coming into the UK and they're fucking hurting people. You know what I mean? It's just, that guy in Nottinghamshire, like, what the... And then they're saying, oh, but he had mental health problems. And, well, if you have mental health problems, address those issues. Okay, some people find it difficult to address the issues, but 2 innocent 19-year-olds are dead now. You know what I mean? and other people are severely injured where he tried to run them over with a van. And then I briefly caught it, while I was in the middle of sorting out here on, was it Monday or Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. And they were saying that he tried to break into some other place at like 5:30 that morning, and then he went on a killing spree. You know what I mean? And it's just madness. The world is fucking mad. You see this all the time. Even these mass shootings in the likes of schools and, all these different things. People going into like shopping centres and just opening up fire on people, walking down streets, killing people. What the fuck is going on with this world? It just seems to be going absolutely bonkers. Some people in this world are just insane and need to be locked up in a fucking padded cell or put down like dogs. They're just fucking nuts. But some of them stories I've been reading over the last couple of days have been absolutely fucking insane. And obviously I send my condolences to the family in Nottinghamshire. But it's just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Now I was talking to you on Monday about, Jeanette McCranky or Nicola Sturgeon being arrested and stuff. Well, the out bitch is out anyway. She's been released anyway, but apparently people are asking her for the resign now as an MP, and they're on her back still about that. I was talking about it briefly on Monday, and I had a few people coming in from Scotland. I had 2 on Instagram contact me yesterday, and I was chatting with both of them, saying that they actually hated Nicola Sturgeon, and they used the term hate. They said she was a liar, she was a manipulator, the way she treated people during COVID, all the bullshit that she was doing, all the lies and all the crap. And she said she was like Hitler. One of them actually said she was like Hitler. I had to laugh at that. I remember his name, actually, a fellow Bobby from Scotland. I was talking to him yesterday on Instagram, so I just had a half an hour to myself and was flicking through my messages. And this guy from Scotland, Bobby, big shout out to Bobby, by the way, because he was a good lad. I was talking away to him for about half an hour on Instagram. He was saying she was like fucking Hitler. What was it he says? A tranny version of Hitler. I was reading it going, oh my God, seriously. He said he was self-employed himself, actually, and he says during the whole lockdown stuff, he struggled with his family. So big shout out to Bobby and his family. Where was he from? I can't even remember. Fife. That's where he was from. So, yeah, it was just bonkers. Like, people are just don't like this woman. I've never liked her. I think she's just, I think she's just an evil wee woman, but that's just my opinion on it all. But in our news, look at how bumbling Boris, eh? We were talking about him the other day, stepping back as well, and apparently it's coming out today, this morning there, as I was having my coffee. And I had the radio on in the background saying that apparently if he had stayed on as an MP, he could have been facing a 90-day suspension anyway. And there's a possibility he could possibly back to court again. They're still going on about this Partygate scandal. Okay, look, listen, put this Boris Johnson thing to bed. I know as well as you, the listener, probably knows fine right that him and his wee cronies were all having these wee meetings and parties and stuff. We all fucking know he was. We all knew what he was up to during lockdown. And they all said it was business meetings and all this jazz. What a load of nonsense. At the end of the day, you all know what he was up to. They were all at it. All them politicians and celebrities and all, they were all fucking at it. We've talked about it for months here on the podcast. We've said about it, they were all on, like was it the BBC show? I think it was the Graham Norton show I was watching that time. And they were all spaced out over the stage, and then as soon as the fucking show was over, they were all backstage hugging each other and taking selfies together. Hypocritical fuckers, to be honest, in my opinion. But again, this whole stuff with Boris going on at the minute, saying that if he had stayed on as PM, or not PM, sorry, if he had stayed on as an MP, sorry, he would have ended up facing a 90-day suspension. Normally, it was said normally take a 20-day suspension or something under investigation or whatever. I don't fucking know. I really, really don't know. But yeah, apparently he would have got this. Now, I saw this one this morning. This actually made me sort of scratch my head and go, what? Some local news here from Northern Ireland. Listen to this here. The story was entailed this morning. Students accused of scamming Northern Ireland Tesco stores with TikTok club card. Now, I was saying these over the last couple of weeks about, about Tesco changing their club card policies and stuff like that, and I actually replied to some of you guys and sent you links to obviously the actual official page and stuff like that, to where to go and see it and whatever. So because they're changing their club card setup or whatever it is. I don't know. I just shop in Tesco like everybody normally, but I was reading this morning and I was making a few notes before the podcast today, and I saw this and I was like, I have to bring this up. It says 2 university students from Manchester allegedly scammed Tesco stores across Northern Ireland using a cloned club card app purchased on TikTok, the High Court heard on Wednesday. Emmanuel, I hope I get these names right now because I can't fucking pronounce half of their names. Emmanuel Moyo and Suleiman Alias are accused of targeting branches last week to steal high value goods. It is also alleged they dishonestly obtained money by a cashback system. The men, both 21, were granted bail but banned from all Tesco outlets in the UK. The first one is from Longford Road in Manchester, and the other one is from Lisabel Avenue in the city, are jointly charged with counts of fraud by false representation theft and attempted theft. So they're banned from every Tesco store. How the fuck is every Tesco store going to know who these guys are? You know, they could walk into a store in, I don't know, London for talk's sake, or I don't know, whatever, and they're not going to know their face. What are they going to do? Put their face in the side of a fucking milk carton? These people are banned from Tesco's and they're not allowed in. Big posters on the windows and all. Officially barred. What a load of shite. But this I done a bit of digging about this morning. TikTok club card. I went on the TikTok this morning, had a look around. I found very little about it. I just typed in TikTok club card. There's a few of them there were going on saying you can get you can get things cheaper and do this and do that. Obviously Tesco are going to switch on about this, and obviously they're going to fucking change all their systems when it comes to these wee club cards and stuff. Obviously Tesco are going to have an absolute headache now of trying to update all their systems and try and get us all into play and all, like. But some of these young ones nowadays, they're up to no good. You know what I mean? Not all of them, like, but give you an example. There's my son, for talk's sake. He comes in sometimes and talks to me. Now, I've worked with computers for years, and he comes into me and talks about computers, and sometimes I'm looking at him going, what the fuck are you on about? Oh, I was reading this online about this. This guy said about this and this and that, and I'm looking at him going, son, at 14, I didn't even know half of stuff, you know. At 14 years of age, my main concern was coming home and watching football and going out with my mates to kick a ball, or going out with my friend Richard, who no longer is with us, obviously, and going sitting, chatting about school and hanging out with each other and just being boys. I wasn't like, that's all I was concerned about. But these young ones nowadays, they know so much. They really, really do. They're learning from no age. Right from the times around their fucking buggies and prams, they're walking around with tablets and phones in their hand. They're learning everything every day. But I just thought I'd bring that up today. That's an interesting one. So it is that TikTok club card thing. I've never heard of it, but again, it's a strange one. I know I don't want to talk about this fucking moron again, but he keeps popping up, and every week he's on this news, and I hear him in the news, or I hear him on the radio, or in a shop somewhere and he's in the front of the papers, and again I'm like, I hate talking about this fucking moron, but he keeps being in the news. Harry's still going on about this legal fucking jar about his US visa and stuff. I asked you last week to contact me about it. A lot of you have obviously sent me messages and stuff, and I love your jokes about Harry and Meghan. I really, really, really do. I love some of your jokes you send me. You know, when a lot of you have been sending me pictures of his book when you're out in the shops, and I just laugh at some of the stuff. A lot of you don't like him. Some of you do. I mean, I've had a lot of you, not a lot of you, like, but some of you coming in saying like, oh, we think you're very mean to Harry and Meghan. They're lovely people and this should be respected and all, and respect their privacy and all. And I'm going, I expect their privacy. Okay, don't even get me fucking started on that crap. But he's in the news again about this whole going on about this visa crap and all this here, and I don't flipping know. Here's a funny one. I saw this here. I was reading this morning, and I was like, what the fuck? British Airways cancelled a flight after a mysterious smell causes pandemonium, with passengers and crew left feeling sick. The Boeing 777 flight from New York to London was cancelled as emergency services were called to tackle an incident. A British Airways flight has been cancelled after a mysterious smell caused pandemonium and emergency services rushed to the jet to provide assistance. Passengers and crew members were left feeling sick as the stench spread around the Boeing 777 jet. Hundreds of passengers on the service were about to depart from JFK before the transatlantic flight was axed just before takeoff. However, passengers on board the outbound flight from to Heathrow first caught a whiff of the, how do you pronounce that? I can't even pronounce that word, it's a real weird one. There's an odour, so they had to completely cancel the flight. Apparently it caused chaos in the airport, and a lot of people were upset and offended by the flight being cancelled. Upset, yes, of course, your flight being cancelled, but how the that's what it says in the report. How the fuck can you be offended your flight's been cancelled? It's probably some wee woke up wrote that story when I read it. But yes, there you go. Flights. I've got quite a lot of flights to come on very, very soon. Like this month, and again next month, and the month after that. So, yeah, I got a lot of flights coming up. And again, back to Liverpool next season as well. The fixtures were announced this morning for the Premier League, and I am booking flights to go to games, which I cannot fucking wait to get back to Anfield. So, we're on that for another story. But yes, there you go. British Airways being tortured at an airport because apparently the smell on a plane was not nice. And people were upset that their flight was cancelled, which is understandable. But whoever wrote offended needs themselves fucking slapped. They really, really do. Guys, a lot of you were saying to me, I was talking to you about like mortgages and things like that over the last couple of weeks, and some of you have been getting back to me about it and saying, you know, how much it's affecting you and how it's affecting other things like that. You know, I was reading this morning again about rates going up in the UK and mortgage prices skyrocketing and stuff like that. I have been keeping an eye on it for you, and I was actually doing a bit of digging the other night when I was on my laptop in bed. Just reading through some stories and stuff, because I've heard from quite a few as you were all saying about, you know, the inflation of obviously the cost of living and stuff like that, and some of you have been getting back to me and I've been answering some of you as well. I got a really interesting one the other night there from a couple. I don't know whether they were from here in Northern Ireland or they're from abroad or were over in England, or maybe they were saying how much your mortgages went up, and I couldn't believe how much it's actually went up for those guys. It's crazy. And then the cost of living, and then they must have been from England, because I do recall reading the message from them and saying that I think that maybe they mentioned water rates, which they pay over in the mainland. So they were just saying how much they're paying out, and they think it's absolutely fucking disgusting how they can get away with all these prices and stuff, and both of them work full time as well. A lot of people are struggling at the minute, guys, and I do hear a lot from yous, and it's heartbreaking to hear some stories. You know, it's just so difficult for people at the minute to try and get by at the minute and try and pay bills and trying to cut back on things, that it's just a complete struggle, and it's hard. And when I read some of them messages from you guys, it really does obviously hit home. It's just so hard to it's just so hard to read some of those messages, because a lot of these out there are working hard and struggling big time to keep a roof over your head, even at least. It's crazy. Right, guys, one here as well, which a lot of you are probably one, because I do like hear from people all the time about different scenarios, different walks of life and stuff. But I was reading this one this morning here about universal credit. It said the story told this morning: universal credit fraud crackdown boosted to save 9 billion by claims of benefit scroungers. The DWP is recruiting over more than 2,500 staff to investigate the reviews and existing universal credit claims. See, to be quite honest with you guys, and I'm going to tell you a wee story here about benefits and stuff like that. I mean, I've worked all my life from whenever I was, 16? I left school at 16. And I told you before, my first job was in a warehouse in a furniture company, which no longer is around anymore. But I always had a wee job since I was about 12 and 13. You know, delivering newspapers, helping out with people, you know, cutting grass, doing all different things as I could to try and make a bit of money, because I was always taught from a young age. And I do the same with my kids as well. You know, teaching them young, you got to work hard to get what you want in life. Now, whenever my marriage ended, well, just before my marriage ended, I was made redundant from a job that I was in. And I ended up like for the longest period of my life ever unemployed. The longest I was ever unemployed between jobs was about a week at the most, not even a week. Never signed on benefits in my life, never claimed a dole check in my life. You know, I worked hard, me and my wife at the time both worked, and then all of a sudden my marriage ended, I ended up losing everything, I ended up homeless, I ended up on my brother's sofa with nothing. I couldn't even sign on because at the time whenever I left my job and I was still with my wife, because my wife was working, she was earning so much a year, she was earning really good money because of her really good high paid job. So I couldn't sign on, but I had to sign on to pay my national insurance and pay my stamp towards my pension whenever I get older and stuff like that. But I wasn't paid a penny. So I finally had to go down. Whenever my marriage ended, I needed money. I was trying to find a job at the time. The longest I was ever unemployed. I didn't have a job. I was struggling. And I finally went down to sign on. And I got messed about, and the whole office thing was a whole big plethora where I got fucked about, and I was supposed to get paid, I didn't get paid, and I finally got paid, and it was a whole big fucking nightmare. And you know, I was living on very, very little money. And then when Brooke and Lewis came to live with me full time, I was still struggling to get by, really struggling to get by. And then we moved in here, and I was literally broke. I mean, guys, I'll be honest with you, the first year I was here, I was flat ass broke. I was struggling. I was starving myself at times to make sure Brooke and Lewis was fed and clothed, and there was gas in the house and electricity in the house and all these different things, and I was struggling to get by. Really struggling. And then all of a sudden this universal credit thing came out on the line, and I've never been on universal credit in my life, so I don't know what it's like, but I've heard a lot of people saying it's the worst thing they've ever fucking brought out. It was a nightmare, and it messes people about. They're messing their benefits about. You know, I've known people who've been on it, and they said it's the worst thing ever. Like, they preferred the old days where you just went down and you signed on and you search for a job. You get paid every 2 weeks, which they don't pay you very much. And then you just try and survive. But there's a lot of people out there have come back to me with universal credit and said they hated it, and there's still some people who I know are on it, and they said it's the worst thing ever. But the thing is, when I finally got back out to work again, started earning a living and all again, it was going well, and everything was doing really, really good, and I'm now in a position now where I'm doing okay, and everything's great now. But I look around these days, and I see, like, this story entails obviously universal credit, or benefits spongers, should we say, because it does go on to say about, you know, people lying about their income and lying about this, and they're living the life of luxury and blah 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 blah, and that fucking pisses me off. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, there's people out there who can't work, who are like maybe have a disability or have an injury or have a certain scenario, or say, for example, they're a full-time carer for, say, a disabled child that maybe has like Down syndrome or something, or some type of disability or whatever, and that's, you know, that's understandable because they have to care for their child or whatever. That's completely understandable. But people out there who legitimately don't want to work, who just sit there all day and do fuck all with their life, and they don't do anything, and the life that they lead, it's like, are you fucking real? Driving around in flashy cars, the best of clothes, they're on 3 and 4 holidays a year, everything handed to them, and I look at that and go, how the fuck are you doing that? Like, how? And their house is like Buckingham Palace, it's all splashed out with the best gear and everything. I'm just going, okay. Guys, go back and watch my early vlogs when we first moved in here. We had very little. We struggled. I mean, we fucking struggled. And even when I first come onto YouTube, I used to get all these wee fucking assholes that used to come on to me all the time and go, my female's on the dole. My female's a fucking waster. My female doesn't work for a living. My female's a fucking Really? I'm like, can you prove that, motherfucker? And like, I had a couple of wee assholes that I actually ended up having to prosecute for online harassment. And some of the stuff that we're putting online saying, like, you know, that I was a waster, I was on the dole, I get my universal credit every couple of weeks, I'm on the brew, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, seriously, like, fuck's sake, wind your neck. And, oh, you don't show us your job and you don't show us your work. And my response to that would be like, hang on here a wee second. If you're working in a place like, for example, an office, or like I used 2 years ago, you're working in a store like Curry's, you're not going to be walking around vlogging yourself while you're fucking working. Your boss would fire your ass on the spot. They would fire you and go, get the fuck out of my shop. You're walking around filming yourself while you're working every single fucking day. Hell no. Your boss would be saying, what are you doing? You're supposed to be working. Say you're working in a factory, like a car factory or something, or you're working in a factory, like a production line or something. You're not going to be standing there going, hey guys, welcome to our vlog, welcome back to the YouTube channel today. While you're at work, your boss will fucking fire us. And these morons used to come in all the time and go, we'll show us where you work. And I'm going, I don't have to prove fuck all to you. You wee weasel rat bastards, go fuck yourself. You wee troll me arseholes, go away to hell that. And that's what I used to get, you know what I mean? And it was like, really? Seriously, like, wind your fucking neck in. But the moral of the story is, guys, there's people out there who are legitimately strong, and hence now why the government's bringing in these people to investigate more, because of people who are legitimately fucking over the system, who are literally getting everything handed to them. And I could talk about this all day, because then I could go down the route of people coming into the country and getting everything fucking handed to them, all the benefits and the houses and all. Because, guys, I remember, and I'm going to tell you a true story, and if you want to call me a fucking racist or whatever you want to call me, that's fine. When I first went down, I'd been working and paying tax since I was 16. And I went down when I was, 32, 33? Was it 33 or something? If my marriage ended, it'd be 33. Never had a day off, was never hardly sick. Longest I was unemployed was a few days at the most, not even a week. Worked my tail off to the bone. Some of my jobs I was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, busting my balls, and I went down to try and sign on for the first time in my life. And I was so embarrassed, right? And I was sitting in that office, and they turned around to tell me that I wasn't entitled to anything, obviously because the wife was working and whatever else and stuff. And I said to him, well, look, listen, guys, I paid my tax since I was 16. I've worked my ass off. There was a girl, and this, you can report this fucking podcast, you can say whatever you want, I don't care, I'm going to be honest. There was a girl that was sitting the 2 seats up from me, and she was like an Asian type girl. She had 3 kids with her. And I overheard the conversation in the next booth where she was talking to someone. She was in the country 6 weeks. 6 weeks in the country, right? 6 weeks. And she was down trying to get herself a benefit to help pay for her kids, and they handed her a check. That's right, to go and get cashed for 1,400 quid to get herself sorted out. I went down, UK resident, worked his ass off, paid his taxes all his fucking life, and they turned around and handed me zero. Zero, not a penny. And I remember walking out of that office that day, and I felt sick to me. Not because of where the girl was from or whatever. It's the fact that I'm like, are you fucking serious? I have worked my tail off, paid my tax all my fucking life so far. And this happens. It's like, I've talked this before, and this, I don't mind, I've mentioned this many times on this podcast. People want to come into this country and work hard and pay their tax and contribute towards the economy and contribute towards the community and, build a family and have a better life for themselves. I applaud that. Bring it on. Happy days. I applaud them. Because I know a load of people here, friends I'm with. I'm friends with Spanish people, Filipinos. I know Chinese people. There's yesterday, for example, Lewis goes to school with this family from Pakistan, and Lewis is quite friendly with one of the wee lads, and we ran into the family yesterday, and his mum and dad have been here for years, and they bust their fucking tail to earn a living. They work their ass off. So they do, and I respect that. But the ones that are coming in off them fucking dinky boats and get everything handed to them, put in 5-star hotels, everything all paid for by the taxpayer. And that pisses me off. Big time. Big fucking time. But anyway, now the government here are apparently investigating this whole benefit sponging thing, and they're trying to investigate people more into their, are they really telling the truth of what they're getting, and should they be getting more or they should be getting less. There's my dad, for example. My dad's retired. This is a God's honest truth. I'm going to tell you an RV story, guys. There's my dad, retired. My dad's retired. He gets his pension from his job. He was in the council for donkey fucking years. Dad worked his ass off for years. And when Dad had his heart attack a few months ago, he was made aware that he could obviously then claim a certain benefit for himself because of his heart attack and stuff like that. And Dad looked at me and went, no, there's somebody out there more who needs it more than me. And I said, Dad, you've been working all your fucking life. You've worked your whole life. And then when you finally get to retire, you'll have a heart attack. And there's something out there that'll actually help you get by every day, especially with the cost of fucking living at the minute. And Dad went, no, there's somebody out there who's more worse than me. They need it. They can take it. You know what I mean? And I looked at Dad and I went, fuck me, fair play to him. Fair play to that. And I think, I even said to my brother, Dad could get this. I could help him, get by more and whatever else. And if he ever needs anything extra, because at the minute, guys, my mum and dad fucking struggle. They struggle with money and stuff. And I've always said to them, if they need help or whatever, I'm always at the end of the phone. And there's been time I've helped them many a time. You know what I mean? And they helped me whenever I was struggling, whenever I was married and stuff at the very start, and we were working our ass off, and there was times we needed to borrow we 20 quid here and we 20 quid there, because obviously we're paying out a lot of money for like mortgages at the time and paying our bills and looking after kids and stuff. So I always said to them, you help me. So, but my mum and dad do struggle at times because of this cost of living crap and all at the minute too. You know what I mean? And I just made my dad aware of it. Dad, because you've had your heart attack and stuff, you might be able to entitle a wee thing that may help you get by a wee bit and stuff. And he was like, no, I don't want that. And he says, just give that to someone who really needs it. But then there's people out there who get everything fucking handed to them, and they claim all these disability benefits and all this here, and there's nothing fucking wrong with them. And they're all driving around in their BMWs and their big flashy cars and stuff, and I'm going to myself, hell, I can't even afford to buy a fucking car. I've been trying to get myself on the road for the last 2 years, and I can't even afford to buy a fucking car because even since COVID, the prices went through the fucking roof. But I could talk about it all day. But the point of the story was here, guys, today was, they're hiring more agents now in to try and investigate more about what is going on with the people who are claiming benefits. Are they really entitled to it? I mean, it even goes into a thing here and saying that there was more overpayments in 2022 in recent years, up to 8.3 billion. Sorry, 8.7 billion compared to the previous highest year, which was 8 billion. Sorry, and the overpayments are just unbelievable. So then I brought in people to try and investigate, is everybody getting what they're supposed to be getting? And there's people out there, guys, who are entitled to stuff, who have like a genuine disability or whatever, and they don't get nothing, and they struggle, and they can't get by every day, and they really are legitimately struggling. And it's sad. You know what I mean? But again, some people out there know how to work a system. They really do. But again, I mean, for example, me, I could wake up tomorrow, my whole circumstances could change, and I could end up having nothing tomorrow, and I may have to go back down and say, hi, listen, I need help. But again, whenever I went down to do it, I felt so ashamed of myself, thinking, no, I should be working. But whenever I was made redundant in my last job, at the time, I legitimately couldn't find work. I tried everywhere. Like, guys, I've worked in places where, fuck me, I've worked in call centres, I've worked in restaurants, cafes, I've worked in, fuck me, when I was 17, 18, I worked in KFC, I've worked in hotels, I've worked in kitchens, I've worked in warehouses, I've done security, I've done all different types of jobs, sales jobs, you name it, I've done the most of it. And, I've done cleaning jobs, but I was a window cleaner when I was like, 18 18, 19, 18. I've worked so many jobs, busted my hump for years and years and years. But, I mean, tomorrow everything could just change like that. It could happen to anybody. You could get paid off from your job, or you could lose your job, or who you work for could go out of business. And again, you got to go down and try and get some type of help and support to keep the roof over the head. And with the way the cost of living is right now, fuck me, benefits won't even help, because I do get a lot of people who say to me, personal people I know, like saying, universal credit wouldn't even hardly keep the fucking roof over their head. Which is crazy. But again, they're investigating these things at the minute, guys, and people maybe getting a few wee letters out to their door saying that, you might not be entitled to this anymore, and you might not be entitled to that anymore. So it's a bit of a strange one, so it is. Right, let's go on here now, and what I'm going to do is, before I go on to the Jackass of the Week, I'm going to answer some of your wonderful questions, which I love listening to and reading every single day. Guys, I love your questions. This is the best part of the show for me, where I read your questions. But before I do that, I'm actually going to push pause on the record button here, because I've got a mouth like a desert. I'm so dry, and I need to get myself a bottle of water. So I'm going to push pause on the podcast for just a second, and I'm going to go in here and get myself... I should actually lift up my bottle of water out of the fridge, because I prepared myself last night, because I knew today was going to be an absolute sweatbox again with the fucking heat. So I thought, right, I'll fill my water bottle up to the brim, I'll put it in the fridge, I'll have it ice cold for the morning for the podcast, and I'll be nice and prepared. But once I sat down here today with a few notes and whatnot, I ended up going, oh shit, I've pushed record and I've no water bottle. So I'm going to pause for the cause for just a second, and I'm going to get myself a bottle of water here. Oh, it's a lot better now. Feeling much better now. I've had my mouth washed out. No longer tastes like a desert. Anyway, right. Time for questions. Love questions. Here, I just literally got up there, right, to go and get myself a bottle of water, and I was about to sit back down and push record, and then the postman just arrived at the door, and he delivered an hour parcel for me, which I don't think Burger Lewis are going to be best pleased when it gets here, when they get home today. An hour Funko Pop just arrived in the post today, so I'm all happy. I'm still collecting those, by the way, guys. Yeah. Could be worse, though. But anyway, yes, let's get into some of your questions. Right, let's have a look here. I'll actually go to the Facebook page today first. So I will. Mirror Army YouTube channel on Facebook. Please drop a like on the page. I would appreciate it. Right, let's have a look here. Right, the first one today is from Charlotte. Charlotte has wrote me a message today for the podcast saying, "Hey Matthew, just wanted to ask you a quick question. And all the time I've been watching your YouTube channel, I've never actually seen you drive a car. Can you drive? Always wanted to know, because I think if you had a car, you could do a lot more with your vlogs. I know you love to travel, but if you had a car, you could do a lot more. Thanks for taking the time to read my message. Enjoy your podcast every week, Charlotte." Okay, well, to answer your question, I just said it earlier on the podcast. I'm actually trying to get a car at the minute, but it's just trying to get one, because the price of cars has just went up so much. And I think a lot of people are taking the piss since this whole COVID crap, and they're just taking full advantage of everything going up in fucking price. I'm trying to get a car before the end of this year. So, yes, and I agree 100%. See, once I get a car, oh my god, mate. Every morning, or every day I'm doing a vlog, I could be in a different place. Honestly, I need to get a car badly. I really, really do. And I'm hoping to be on the road before the end of the year. So, Tony got himself a car there recently. Tony's now on the road. He's doing really, really well for himself. And, he's never home. Once he passed his test and got himself his license and he finally got himself a new car. His wee car is a beautiful wee car. He was quite lucky to find that quite cheap. But I've been searching for a car now for the last 3 or 4 months. I'm looking everywhere for cars. The likes of Auto Trader and online, and just trying to find places to look at cars, and everything's just so expensive nowadays. And then with the price of fucking diesel and petrol, it doesn't help either. But yes, I agree with you. Yes, I'll be on the road more. So I will be. So yes, hopefully before the end of this year I will be on the road. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But we shall see how I go. Right, let's get into another one here from Facebook. Right, one here from Michael Stevenson. Hello, Michael Stevenson. How are you today? Just wanted to know, hi Matthew, I've noticed in a couple of your vlogs, in the background, you have quite a lot of books. Are you a bit of a reader? If so, what type of books do you like to read? Thanks for reading the message. Love the podcast every week. Well, to be quite honest with you, yes, I do have quite a lot of books, and I've read the majority of them. I have been doing a lot more reading over the last year or so to try and distract myself from everything that's been going on. I've been doing quite a bit of reading, actually. I bought a few books there over the last year or so. I was actually given a book as well by the girl who you probably saw in my vlog last year, Katie Hopkins, and I actually read her book, which was actually quite good. She gave me, obviously when we got to talk to each other and stuff, and we've got to know each other, and she gave me one of her books for free, and she signed it for me, and we've talked a few times since then, and I've obviously read her book, but I've got quite a few books there, and some of my books you actually see in that vlog and that bookcase is actually signed as well, from different people, like wrestlers and celebrities and footballers, and they're all personally signed books. So yeah, I do read, but not as much as I should. So I do. But thanks for your question. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Right, let's jump over to Instagram. This is the one that I get flooded with messages on Instagram, which I love. I absolutely love it. Right, let's have a look here and see. Right, I have one here from Russell. So I have. Russell writes to me, "Hi Matthew, how you doing? Hope you're having a great, enjoying the nice weather. Hope you're enjoying the great weather." Sorry, he says. I am enjoying the great weather as I have been off the last 2 weeks from work. Loving it. Just wanted to know, are you looking forward to your summer holiday this year? That's all he says. You're looking forward to your summer holiday this year? Well, I am, yeah. Lucky you to see the weather. I haven't really seen much of it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my summer holiday this year. It's going to be an interesting one this year because it's going to be myself, Brooke and Lewis. Then we've got Brooke's boyfriend going, Paul, who's a great kid. I love Paul to bits. He's a good lad. And one of Brooke's best friends, Grace, who's like a second daughter to me. She's fucking never away from here. We're all going. They're going on holiday with us this year, so it's going to be a fun one this year. So it is. It's going to be a fun one this year. So it is. We're looking forward to getting away on the summer holiday this year, and there's going to be plenty of vlogs. Don't you worry about that. Plenty of vlogs still up every day. There's going to be fun times, and I cannot wait. It's going to be a great, great holiday. So it is. So I'm looking forward to it. So thanks for your question. I appreciate it. Right, let's get into another one here. Right, I have one here from Thomas on Instagram. Thomas says, "Hi Matthew, just wanted to say that I was very proud to see Lewis pick up his award as you shared that video from the end of season football awards. I saw you at one of the games this past season when you were playing against Larne in the Irish Cup. I was at the game with my dad and saw your Lewis running up and down the line with his cameras, taking photos and videos. He's worked really hard with you this season, and I think that Lewis really deserved that award. I'm sure you were very proud of him, and again, I'm sure you love it and looking forward to it. He wrote a bit of a mistake in this message here. You love it and you're looking forward to next season once again. Proud daddy moment, I'm sure. Keep up the great work, keep up the great content, Thomas." Yes, I am a very proud daddy. I've talked about it, and guys, if you haven't saw that wee video where Lewis gets his award at the end of season football awards, you can go and check it out on the YouTube channel now. He got a wee award for his hard work. You said there, Thomas, you were at the Larne game, which was the big massive game in the Irish Cup. There was fucking thousands of people that night. Yeah, Lewis worked his tail off that night as well. He has been a wee superstar. He works his ass off. He really, really does. Fair play to him. I mean, for weeks leading up to that night, the boys kept saying, "Make sure you bring Lewis." And I'm going, why? He's 14. He can't stay too long. He'll probably have to leave about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And they were like, no, it's fine, honestly. I was like, right, okay. So I brought him, and they gave him an award. And he was all over the moon. So he was. And all the boys and all thanked him for coming, and the boys were all happy with him and all. And it was a great wee night for him. And my dad came and picked him up early and brought him home, and he was just so chuffed. And I was proud of him. So I was really, 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 really proud of him. So I was. But yes, thanks for your question once again, Thomas. I appreciate it. Okay, I've one here from Daniel. Daniel writes to me, "Hi Matthew, just wanted to ask you, have you any other hobbies and sports that you're in, or hobbies or sports you're interested in, apart from football, wrestling, and other things that you show on your vlogs? Okay. Well, I enjoy walking. I enjoy being out, obviously, around the beach. Hobbies? Well, I collect Funko Pops. That's about it. I've been collecting WWE Funko Pops for the last 3 or 4 years. That's just a wee hobby I have. What else do I do? That's pretty much it. I've showed you basically everything I do on my vlogs and stuff. I mean, I'm a very happy person. Well, obviously on a Thursday I would sit and have a few beers on a Thursday night and chill out and look forward to the weekend and stuff. But apart from that, I don't really bother much. I just work and go to football on a Saturday and go to Liverpool games and spend time with the kids, and I like to go out for dinner now and again and just literally patter about and just keep myself to myself. It's pretty much it. That's pretty much. I mean, obviously I love playing football and stuff. I don't mind about. I mean, I like to go on 10-pin bowling. I would love to do a bit of ice skating now and again when I was younger. What else would I do? That's pretty much it. Really, I as I've got older, I've sort of like became more simpler in life. That's just being totally honest. And I just like to drink a few beers, chill out with the boys, have a laugh. See my family, my kids. Things like that. That's pretty much it. So you may say I'm actually quite boring, but my day goes in very, very quick. Trust me. This is the joys of getting fucking older. Right, let's do another Instagram one here before I check the emails. Right, right, I've one here from Anderson. Is it Anderson? It's Anderson. I thought Anderson was his surname. No, obviously this person's Anderson Stevenson. Okay. Greetings, Matthew, from the United States. Oh, hello, the United States. Happy days. I came across your podcast 2 weeks ago while searching through TuneIn Radio. I was just searching through podcasts and came across yourself. You seem a very quick-witted, no bullshit, no nonsense type of guy, and I actually like that. I find it sometimes hard to understand some things you say, but that's just obviously your accent. No offense. Okay, fair enough. I am from Houston, Texas, and I've always wanted to know what Ireland is like. Could you please inform me, as one day I would love to step foot on your shores and check out your beautiful green country. The country's not fucking green, apart from the grass. You must think it's Ireland or Northern Ireland. We're part of the UK. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for taking the time. I hope this message reaches you in good stead. Okay, fair enough. Houston, Texas. Hello, how you doing? The country's not green, first of all. Just letting you know. Why is it every time Americans assume that as soon as they see like a wee leprechaun, they automatically think all of Ireland? It's like a stereotype thing. It's like I remember years ago when I went to New York, long time ago, and it was me and these 3 other guys. We're all brothers, and we bumped into this crowd of people around about our age at the time, and I never forget this, the day I fucking died, like. And there was about 10 or 12 of them, and guys and girls, and they were all like, oh, where are you from? And we're like, yeah, we're from Northern Ireland. And they were like, oh, Ireland, oh yeah, Ireland. And out of all, I would say there was about 10 or 12 people in that group, and there was only one of them out of the whole fucking group understood what the difference between North of Ireland and Southern Ireland is. They automatically thought it was all one big thing. And whenever the person who we were talking to through that group who understood that, they automatically thought what they saw on the TV was real. Is there people really driving around your streets every day in tanks like a war, and people shooting each other in the street every day? And I'm like, not anymore, no. And again, we saw on whatever channel it was, I guess it was 2004. And I'll never forget this conversation. I'll never forget this night. Like, it always stuck with me, this memory. And like, everything we see, it's like Northern Ireland, they're like killing each other every day. And I was like, well, until 1998, the peace agreement was signed, the Good Friday Agreement, and obviously there were ceasefires and all that there, but there's obviously still bits and bobs you see going on since then, like, but they're obviously learning about the Troubles and whatever else. So I try to explain it to him, but the rest of them were just standing there and go, "Oh, we just thought it was Ireland, one big country." And I'm like, no, it's in two different parts: Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland. So, but yes, this gentleman here from Texas wants to come and set foot in Ireland someday. Well, there you go. Well, listen, if you're going to go to Ireland, you're heading down south. Northern Ireland is us. Not that I've got a problem with any of that, because I don't. Because I have friends from down south who are lovely people, and I love going down south. I love Ireland. I love Dublin. I love the Irish culture. I love when you're down there, you see, like, you know, all the Irish pubs, and the people down there have always been good to me. So, and I've got friends down there who live in Ireland, so I've never had a problem, never had an issue at all. But thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Right, I'm going to go into the emails here before I go. I'm going to pick one email, and then I'm going to rock and roll down the road. I'm going to answer some more over the weekend, guys, because I've got more of a free weekend this weekend, and I might be actually heading out to a few different places this weekend, so I could be doing vlogs out and about this weekend. Right, I'll read one email, I'll do Jackass of the Week, and then I'm done for the day, because I want to try and get into that sun. I have a bit of work on this before I head out this afternoon. Then I got to go to a teacher meeting at Lewis's school, and I'm probably not going home to that till about after 4, half 4ish. And then I got to come home, get dinner all prepared, get the kids fed. Brooke will be coming in from one of her wee jobs today, and then I'll be getting her fed, and then I'll finally get to sit down tonight and have a few beers. And then it's the weekend. Woo-woo. Right, let's go. One email here before I go. mirrorarmypodcast@yahoo.com is the email, by the way, guys. If you're ever interested in sending me a wee message, I really would appreciate it. I got one here, actually. It was sent to me, looks like it was yesterday. I'll go random here and go at the very top here of the list. It just says here, "Hey Matthew, just wanted to ask you a question about your YouTube channel. First of all, what inspired you to set up your YouTube channel?" I know where this is going. I think I've answered this before for somebody else. What has inspired you to be on YouTube? How long have you been on YouTube overall? And most importantly, how long do you think you'll continue making YouTube videos? Okay. Well, the inspiration, I had told you a story before, it was Brooke. Brooke kept budging me to get on. I was on YouTube before I come on to our YouTube channel with football, where I was doing TV presenting, and I was doing interviews and match highlights and stuff like that, and making videos here and there. And there was a couple of videos popped up online from years ago that I made for the wrestling company that I was in, like highlight videos and stuff like that. So I was making me trips and trabs for years, and then obviously with football I was on YouTube every week. But our YouTube channel was Brooke's idea. She kept hounding me about it, so I finally gave in, and look where we are now. But how long am I going to be on YouTube for? How long's a piece of string? I actually don't know. I could be on for another 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But I know for a fact whenever Brooke and Lewis finally move out, I'll probably still be on YouTube. So I will. And even after they move out and go and do their own thing, I'll be on YouTube. I'll probably be on YouTube for actually fucking more whenever they move out, because I'll be on my own. Because I've no wife and I've no girlfriend. Unless I'm actually ended up like with someone again and remarried again or something. I don't know. But you never know what's around the corner, do you? Like. But anyway, thanks for your message. Hope that clears that up for you. And thank you for supporting the channel. I do appreciate it. I salute you. Thank you very much. Right. Let's get on to the favourite segment of the week that I love. Now, I love this because when I open up emails and messages and stuff like that every week from you guys, and you think, I think the Jackass of the Week on Thursday should be this one and should be that one. And I love it. I actually love it. But you know something, guys? I'm actually picking it myself this week because of what I saw the last few days. So, yes, it's night time for the segment that everybody loves in the podcast every Thursday. It's night time for the More Army Podcast Jackass of the Week segment. There he is. Hello, Boris. How are you this week? How you keeping? Boris the donkey. Absolutely love it. Well, guys, after seeing these people on the TV the last 2 days and hearing it on the radio and reading it online, I had to make these people Jackass of the Week. It's because of just obviously what's been going on lately with the whole Philip Schofield crap and whatever else, so I just thought I'd bring it up. But anyway, yes, the Moore Army Podcast Jackass of the Week for this week is, can I get a drum roll please? Thank you very much. There it is. The Moore Army podcast. Jackass of the week for this week is ITV, the television channel and the producers and the bosses of ITV. And you're probably thinking to yourself, why are they the... I've been watching this thing they've been doing the last couple of days, all the cover-up with Philip Schofield saying that they didn't know this and they didn't investigate this and this wasn't classed as... They're basically covering up this whole Philip Schofield crap, and it's really annoying me now, and it's laughable. And I was flicking through some of the stuff this morning to make some notes for the podcast, and it was like, oh my good God, these ITV morons are covering this up. They have to be. So yes, they are officially the jackass, or should we say jackasses of the week for this week. ITV, they are clowns. So they are absolute clowns. So there you are. That's the jackass of the week for this week. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go here now for another Thursday. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of the weather as long as it lasts, whether it be in the UK or here in Northern Ireland or down south in Ireland or wherever it is you're listening to this podcast from around the world. I hope you're enjoying any type of nice weather you have. You know, because it's been a great start to the summer so far. No doubt the weather's obviously going to change because it's typical Northern Ireland weather here, but I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can today. I want to go off here tonight and right off into the sunset and have a few beers tonight and chill out and maybe even light the wee fire pit tonight. Maybe even have a wee barbecue. See if the kids want to have a wee barbecue tonight. I had one last Saturday night with mum and dad, which was lovely. But I may even have a wee barbecue tonight. Just see how it goes. But yes, guys, I hope you all have a great weekend. And don't forget to stay in touch with me over the weekend. I will sit down and try and talk to some of your messages and reply to some of your messages over the weekend. I am going to have a relaxing weekend this weekend. I'm hoping to do as very little as possible and maybe head out with a couple of friends and stuff. If not, I'll just be pattering about and trying to hopefully enjoy the rest of the sunshine before there's bound to be a rainfall coming from somewhere. Bound to be rain coming from somewhere, there has to be. I always end up in thunderstorms or something, but I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can. So yes, guys, once again, thank you for all your support. I'm going to be posting another video on the channel today where Lewis and I went out for some food last night, and also there's a wee special message in the vlog Brooke sent out to that lovely girl who sent us that email last Monday on the podcast. That girl, Sarah, sent a really lovely email, and we have replied to her. So Brooke said she loves Brooke, so Brooke sent her a special message in that YouTube video, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to go and enjoy my weekend. So guys, until next Tuesday, enjoy yourselves, have a great weekend, be safe, and until next Tuesday, guys, I will see you all down the road and see you then. Thanks for listening, guys.